This is the part 6 video of chapter 6 for standard 8th science, composition of matter. If you haven't watched the first 5 parts, please click on the link in the description box below. Hey, this video was made just for you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. So let us continue with this chapter. Can you tell? Molecular formulae of some compounds are given in the following table. Use these to fill in the gaps in the table. So let us do this table together. The first one is already solved for us. It says here the name of the compound is water and it has a molecular formula of H2O. We have seen this also in previous videos where water is made up of 2 atoms of hydrogen combined with 1 atom of oxygen. So the constituent elements present in water are hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen is denoted by the symbol H and oxygen is denoted by the symbol O. Now the number of atoms of the constituent elements. Here they have given H2O. So this tells us that there are 2 atoms of hydrogen and O has no number here. So that tells us that it is just 1 atom of oxygen. The next example here is hydrogen chloride. The molecular formula for hydrogen chloride is HCl. This is an acid commonly found. And this has the constituent elements of H, that is hydrogen, and Cl is chlorine. The number of atoms of the constituent elements. Here there is no number following H and there is no number following chlorine. So this indicates that there is 1 atom of each. The next example is methane. Methane has a molecular formula of CH4. That is 1 atom of carbon combined with 4 atoms of hydrogen. So here the constituent elements are carbon and hydrogen, where carbon is denoted by the letter C and as we seen earlier also, hydrogen is denoted by the symbol H. Now C does not have any number following it, therefore it is just 1 atom of carbon. But there are 4 atoms of hydrogen because there is a number 4 over here. So we will write 4 atoms of hydrogen. The last example is magnesium chloride. It has a molecular formula of MgCl2. So the constituent elements are Mg and Cl. Whenever there is a small letter, it tells us that it is part of this and together Mg becomes magnesium. Similarly, C and this is a small l. Therefore, Cl it tells us that it is chlorine. Mg is just 1. So, there is 1 atom of magnesium and 2 atoms of chlorine. We have seen the relationship between a molecular formula and the number of atoms of various elements in the molecule. So here, just by getting the molecular formula, we can easily tell what are the constituent elements and how many atoms are also present. The ability of joining to another atom with a chemical bond is a chemical property of each atom. So here in this hydrogen chloride example, there is a chemical bond present between hydrogen and chlorine. Similarly, in water, there is a chemical bond present between the 2 atoms of hydrogen and the 1 atom of oxygen. So the ability to form this chemical bond is determined by the property of the respective elements. This ability is indicated by a number and this number is called the valency of an atom. So what is this valency? Valency, it actually tells us the number of bonds that an element can form with another element. An atom forms as many chemical bonds with another atom as its valency. So whatever the number of valency is present of that element, it can tell us how many bonds it can form with other elements. Generally, valency of an element remains constant in its various compounds. So for example, let us take the element hydrogen. Hydrogen has a valency of 1. So this tells us that at a time it can only form 1 bond with another element. and this can be any element. So they are telling us that this valency remains constant no matter whatever the compound is. So if hydrogen is combining with oxygen, it will be able to join and form just one bond. Similarly, when hydrogen is combining with chlorine, it can form one bond. Do you know? Scientists performed many experiments regarding composition of compounds during the 18th and 19th century. And from that, they deduced the valency of elements. So, how did we come to know that hydrogen has a valency of 1? This is because of scientists that have performed many experiments and seen what are the composition of many compounds. And that is how now we know the valency of every compound and every element. Complete the table. Molecular formulae of various compounds formed by hydrogen with other elements are given in the following table. From that, deduce the valencies of the concerned elements. So now in this following table, we know that the hydrogen has a valency of 1. So this is constant. So once we know the valency of hydrogen, we can easily find out the valency of all of its other components that it forms a compound with. So let us do it together. Here in the first example, they have given us hydrogen chloride. This has a molecular formula of HCl, where it is one atom of hydrogen that is forming a chemical bond with one atom of chlorine. So here the constituent elements are hydrogen and chlorine. We already know that the valency of hydrogen is 1. And we have to find out the number of bonds formed by that element with hydrogen. So here hydrogen and chlorine can form one bond because there is just one atom of hydrogen. So therefore the valency of chlorine is 1. So here we easily found out the valency of chlorine just by knowing the valency of hydrogen. Similarly, we can find the valency of all elements that are forming bonds with hydrogen. The next example is water. Water has a molecular formula of H2O. So the constituent elements are hydrogen and O for oxygen. The valency of hydrogen we know is 1, and now we need to see the number of bonds formed by oxygen with hydrogen. So here we see that there are 2 hydrogen atoms forming a bond with one oxygen molecule. So therefore this would be 2, and therefore we come to know that the valency of oxygen is 2 because 2 hydrogens are able to form a bond with one atom of oxygen. The next example is H2S. Here S is the symbol for sulfur. So here the constituent elements is H for hydrogen and S for sulfur. Valency of hydrogen is 1 as we know, and this is similar to the formula of water where there are 2 atoms of hydrogen forming a bond with one atom of sulfur. And therefore we find out that the valency of sulfur is 2. The next example is NH3. This is ammonia. The ammonia molecular formula is NH3 where the constituent elements are H, that is hydrogen, and N, that is nitrogen. Valency of hydrogen we know is 1, and here 3 hydrogen molecules are able to form a bond with one atom of nitrogen. Therefore, we know that the valency of nitrogen is 3. The next example is HBr. Here Br stands for bromine. So here the constituent elements are H for hydrogen and Br for bromine. Here there is just one atom of hydrogen forming a bond with one atom of bromine. Therefore, the valency of bromine is 1. Similarly, Hi is hydrogen forming a bond with iodine. So this will also be similar to HBr, where the valency of iodine is 1 because there is just one atom of hydrogen forming a bond with one atom of iodine. The next compound is NaH. Here Na is sodium. Be very careful and do not confuse Na with N. If it is just N, then it is nitrogen. But if it is Na, then it is sodium. So here the compounds are H, that is nitrogen, with Na, that is sodium. The valency of hydrogen we know is 1. And here also there is just one atom of sodium forming a bond with one atom of hydrogen. Therefore, the valency of sodium is also 1. The last example is methane. The molecular formula for methane is CH4. So here there are 4 atoms of hydrogen forming a bond with just 1 atom of carbon. So therefore we've come to know that the valency of carbon is 4. Valencies of the constituent elements can be deduced from the known molecular formula of a compound. So here also easily, just by knowing the molecular formula of the compound, we were able to find the valency of each of the elements present in it. The basis for this is the univalency of hydrogen. So we were only able to find this because we already knew that the valency of hydrogen is 1. And that is called univalency, because the valency of hydrogen is just 1. On the other hand, the molecular formula of a compound can be written from the known valencies of the constituent elements by the method of cross multiplication. So here we were given the molecular formula and we were asked to find the valency. Similarly, if we are given the valency, we can easily write the molecular formula of the constituent elements. So let us now learn the cross multiplication method, where we can easily write the molecular formula just by knowing the valencies of the elements. So the first step is to write the symbols of the constituent elements. Here we are taking carbon and oxygen. To write the valency below the respective element is the second step. So now the valency of carbon is 4, and we found out this by this example of methane, where we found the valency of carbon as 4. And the oxygen has a valency of 2. We found this out by using the formula of water. So here we write 4 and 2 below this. The step 3 is to cross multiply to obtain the number of atoms of the constituent elements in the molecule of the compound. So here they have cross multiplied, that is, they have joined C with 2 and O with 4. The step 4 is to write the formula of the compound obtained by cross multiplication. So they wrote this as C2 and O4. The step 5 is to write the final molecular formula of the compound. The number of constituent atoms in the final molecular formula should be the smallest possible whole number. For getting this, divide the formula obtained in the step 4 by a suitable number. So we have to divide this 2 and 4 in such a way that we get the smallest possible whole number. So 2 and 4 are easily divisible by the number 2. So we can easily divide both these numbers by 2. Formula obtained by cross multiplication is C2O4, and the final molecular formula obtained by dividing by 2, we get CO2. And this is carbon dioxide that is present in the air around us. It has a molecular formula of CO2. And we easily obtain this molecular formula just by knowing the valencies of carbon and oxygen. Pairs of elements and their valencies are given in the following table. Use them logically to deduce the molecular formula of the compounds formed from the pairs and write them in the last column. So here they have given us various elements in pairs, and they have given us the valency of each of the element. We have to find the molecular formula that will be formed when you combine these two elements together to form a compound. So the first one we have given is carbon and hydrogen. Carbon has a valency of 4 and hydrogen has a valency of 1. So we will write it as carbon here and hydrogen here, and below it we will write each of their valencies. So carbon has a valency of 4 and hydrogen has a valency of 1. Now we do cross multiplication. Here we will finally get carbon 1, hydrogen 4. And this formed methane that we seen earlier. If you see in this example, we easily found methane, that is CH4. We usually do not write this one, so it will become CH4. The next example is N and H. So here N stands for nitrogen and H stands for hydrogen. So we will write N and H, and below it we will write their respective valencies. So N has a valency, that is nitrogen has a valency of 3 and hydrogen has a valency of 1. After cross multiplying, we will get N1H3, and this is ammonia. Ammonia is denoted by the molecular formula of NH3. The next one is Fe and S. Fe is the symbol for iron and S is the symbol for sulfur. Each of these have a valency of 2. So we will write Fe and S, and below each of them we will write their respective valencies. In this case both are 2. So after cross multiplying we would get Fe2S2. But now we have to still divide this to get the smallest possible whole number. So after dividing each of them, we can divide each of them by 2. So after dividing it, we would get FeS. And this is the molecular formula for ferrous sulfide. The last example is similar to this salt example, in which we get CO2, that is carbon dioxide. Here they have given us few more examples in which we need to find out the molecular formula, and they have given us the valencies. I hope you will be able to do these by yourself now. If you need any help, go to www.jkacademypro.com for the detailed explanations. For the answers to this exercise and other free worksheets, please go to jkacademypro.com.